Hey fish fans, it's Raina the Mermaid, and I am here with a new video to sort of get my long-term fans up to date on what has been going on with me, with my company over the past season of the summer. Before we get started, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I know a lot of folks watch my stuff from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'd really appreciate the subscription, especially when it's from people in the community. That means a lot to me. And hit the bell if you want to get notified in your email box, and if you don't want to get notified, don't hit the bell. You'll get a notification every time I upload something. So one of the pieces of news I have is that Mertailor is ending their affiliate program. They don't have a solid plan yet if they're going to do something different in the future, but for now, my code Raina10 gets you 10% off on all fabric items at Mertailor, except for things that are already on sale, until Halloween 2024. That is the last day, and it's going to expire then. So if you're watching this video and you want to save 10% on a brand new piece of Mertailor merch, maybe you want a guppy tail or a whimsy or some of the clothing, this is your last chance to get that. And I get that little bump, that little 10% commission, and it helps me pay for things. A lot of my ability to pay for things is getting smaller, but I am super thankful for the Mertailor company giving me so many opportunities and so many cool products to review, and having that little bump from the 10% has made a huge difference for me, especially during the pandemic. So thank you to everybody who uses my code, and if you want to use it one or two more times before Halloween gets here, this is your opportunity to do it. So that was my big announcement sort of out of the way. I thought I would just catch you up on everything that's been happening since basically the California Mermaid Convention. I put one video up and I just haven't had the opportunity to edit the other two vlogs that I filmed for Saturday and Sunday. I've started them, they haven't gotten done, and in even this video I had to really set aside specific time. So basically my life is pretty difficult at the moment and not a lot of free time. It's hard for me to do the longer videos because of the amount of filming and editing required. I'm putting out a lot of shorts, and some of those shorts are sort of like minute-long montages of the gigs and things I've done, and I think they're pretty cool, so I hope you will check out my shorts. Some of them are just cool behind the scenes. The problem that I'm having since my shorts went viral, we're almost at 700,000 subscribers, which is amazing, thank you. But when I started my YouTube, and for those first 10 years, I had a very dedicated fan base of 14,000 subscribers. It wasn't a lot of subscribers, but the people who were there were part of the mermaid community or interested in the mermaid community, and they were commenting, engaging with me. We were having great conversations. The things that would come out of these conversations were inspiring me to make different videos. And with the shorts going viral, I've really lost that little chunk of my community, and people aren't really seeing my stuff in their feeds anymore, and I'm not really getting that feedback. So amazing to have almost 700,000 subscribers. Many of them do not speak English. Many of them are just following me for my shorts because they really enjoy the beautiful videos, or they will watch a long form video if it's just mermaid swimming. They're not watching these kind of vlog things. So if you are somebody who is watching a vlog, could you please, please, please engage with this? Give it a like, give me a comment, let me know, because I'm really starting to question if I should focus my energy on making these vlogs, making tutorials, making unboxing videos, making reviews. It's hard to justify putting all of my energy into that if nobody's gonna see it, right? And that is where my passion lies. I love doing that stuff. But again, it is hard to justify if everyone's watching my shorts and nobody's watching the long form. So let me know what you think, okay? I made some videos about why my company is going under, drowning basically, the local economy, the access to pools changing, the team kind of going off in different directions, and the effort and money it would take to get new people is just too much. The insurance becoming prohibitive in cost. So if you don't know the context, there are two videos on that. There's a video describing the problem, and then a video that kind of pitches what I'm hoping to do to fix it so that I can still keep creating content and doing cool things. This summer was a hard lesson in that. we got back from California Mermaid Con and we did have a few gigs. So I did the opening for the local new Commons pool, which was really cool. This is a gorgeous facility. I'm in love with it. It's open to the public and free during the months of July and August in the summer. We did the opening, Mermaid Mimi and I, and it poured rain, and I was so scared of being cold that I had to wear wetsuit pants under my tail, but I ended up being okay because the pool was heated. My son was really sick that day, and my amazing sister came and watched him. I was hoping to actually take him to the gig and let him play in the water, but he was throwing up, so he had to stay behind. And then my poor sister caught what he caught. This is a really perfect example of this paradigm of motherhood and running a small business and the difficulties this causes me. I also can't drive due to a disability called dyspraxia, which I can get into maybe at another time, but it really holds me back in life. I have to, you know, get my husband to drive me everywhere, or my friends, or take public transit, and that's not always feasible when you have to drop a child off somewhere and get all your mermaid gear and all this stuff. So everything that kind of could go wrong did, and yet Mimi and I had a phenomenal time at this gig. It was really beautiful. The kids were wonderful, even though it was raining. The lifeguards were wonderful. I loved the facility. It is not a facility where I could go as a mermaid on my own and swim, because it would pose too much of a risk and there's no real private swimming options. So it was really only something I got to do as a mermaid for a gig, so it was special and I'm thankful for it, but kind of bummed that I can't do it any other way. I also did a series of Canada Day events. One of them was an indoor for Bedford Days, which is an event series I've done for years, and we did that inside and it was really cute. I loved it. Kind of wish I could have done it as a parent instead of a mermaid. My son went, had a ball. There was a free dance party with all kinds of lights. There were other performers. There was free face painting. There were free arcade games, free prizes and snacks and drinks. The kids loved it, and it was like a kickoff for summer, and I was there as a mermaid, which was great. I met a lot of families. Nova Scotia, where we live, has had like an amazingly insane amount of immigration recently, so there were a lot of people here for the first time. I met a lot of Indian folks who call me a jalpari. So I was learning that phrase, jalpari is how they call me a mermaid, and so I was meeting a lot of Indian families, which is really cool. And Nova Scotia has really focused a lot on immigration, and I've been getting to meet all kinds of really cool people. So that was really cool, just to see them interact and meet each other and meet us. There was HowlCon, a local convention where everyone's cosplaying, so there were superheroes and stuff. That was a really great time. We were supposed to do one last tank show, but the weather got really bad and the client felt like trying to get the tank and set it up was too much, and also posed a bit of a risk with the potential for lightning and just the interplay of the setup for heating the tank and the electricity and making sure things was grounded and safe and waterproof. So we had to forego our last tank show, which was kind of a bummer because Mimi and I were really looking forward to that. And instead we just did a meet and greet, but it was still really fun. Mimi had her daughter there. I had trout. We had Mermaid Nessie with us. Mermaid Nessie was a champ and took trout for a bunch of it, so I could do things. But again, this is 3 gigs now that I'm trying to cope with not having childcare really. So it just becomes difficult. And it was just fun. It was it was the same one that we always do, and there were fireworks and it rained, but we managed. We had a nice canopy gazebo over top of us, and again, a lot of immigrants celebrating their very first Canada Day, which felt really special, so that was fun. Around this time I also did World Oceans Day. This is actually a volunteer thing that I've done, and I know that volunteering in the mermaid community is sometimes frowned upon, but my rule of thumb is if everybody is volunteering, if everyone involved is volunteering, then I will volunteer. And if there is money for performers and they're paying some performers, then they can pay me. So Make-A-Wish actually does pay me because they fundraise so that they can pay performers. It won't stop me from doing some level of volunteering with them if I feel it's appropriate, but they do have a budget to pay people. When I do World Oceans Day, it's literally all people volunteering. So I go to the Maritime Museum of the Atlantic, which I think this was my 16th year or something like that, which is ridiculous. And I give little environmental workshops and I'm doing all kinds of stuff like that. doing a meet and greet, and it was really fun and also a little sad, but I think that it's an event that I will continue to donate my time to. It's really important to me. And then I met up with my friend Alana, who has like a whole other thing that she does with an ocean school and everything, and scuba diving, and she's also a Patty Mermaid instructor. So I did a little visit there, and I met a Japanese family that had just immigrated here, and I got to put them in fins, and we got pictures. Of course, it was freezing rain and terrible, and my son was also with us again. The only other gig that I had the entire year was Back to the Sea, which is a very small touch tank group that do educational work. So it's sort of like a mini aquarium with all the little touch tanks, and I went and did their Sea Squirt Sunday. I read some books, played with some puppets, sang some songs, hand out some mermaid treasures. I try to keep it sort of local content interesting, and then I let the kids try on mermaid tails to get pictures, and that was really cute. I enjoyed that, and the kids really have a lot of fun with that. So those were my only gigs, and only some of them were paying and some of them were, you know, donated. And it sounds maybe like a lot, 5 or 6, but that's not a lot for what it was like for us pre-pandemic. We would normally have a team of 15 or 20 going out every single weekend doing multiple gigs, and then we'd also have all these tourism things, and we'd have birthday parties. I didn't do one single pool party or home party this entire summer. Nobody did. There was nothing. There was no work. And we did make the decision to close the company as previously discussed. So I kept our company insurance until the end of August, and now I'm switching over to individual insurance for myself, which is not something we had in Canada previously. It's new. So all the other mermaids in the States and stuff, they use like specialty insurance. We didn't have that in Canada. So I just got that. So much cheaper. It insures me, it insures Sean. It actually can insure the stuff that I'm doing on YouTube. Not really sure what would go wrong on YouTube, but it's nice to have that kind of protection if I need it. So I did that. The summer itself was really difficult. I don't know, I'm already been talking for like 12 minutes. I don't know how much longer this is gonna go on, but if you wanna stick with me, I appreciate it, and just listening to my life, because now we're gonna kind of get into the darker stuff. So the summer was really difficult. We had an issue with our car, and we have an older hybrid, and in Nova Scotia we have road safety stickers that you have to get every 2 years. So you get a safety inspection, and if your car is not roadworthy, you can't drive it or you risk getting a ticket. And our car needed some parts that had to be ordered in, that took a long time, and also every mechanic in the city was in like vacation, so it took like multiple appointments to get the things done that we needed to get done. And our car actually wasn't safe to drive. Not a matter of like, oh, I can drive and I'll be okay, I just can't get caught because I have a sticker. No, like it actually wasn't safe to drive. We were afraid that we were going to have an accident. So we went the majority of the summer without a vehicle, and that just made it really difficult to do anything fun. The public transit here is not very good, and all of the ocean stuff is not on public transit, and all of the places that we normally spend our summer and make content and do these fun things, none of that was available to us. My husband lost his job in spring. I don't know if I've talked about this here yet, but I am still the only person working a full-time job. And we had our daycare close for most of August, which is fine. The lady who runs it is wonderful, and she deserves a vacation, so it's a home daycare. And it kind of worked out in that at least we didn't have our car while our kid was supposed to be in daycare. He actually got to be home, so Sean was able to take him in a stroller and go places during the day, get groceries. We're walking distance from those kind of services, so that was good. But not having the car was really hard, and especially for me, somebody who can't drive as well, like I really rely on that. And things just kept not working out, so we just kept having these bad things happen. Our beloved cat Pinky had to be put to sleep at the beginning of the summer. She had megacolon. You might remember Pinky from my videos and pictures. That was pretty devastating and also very costly. The car was extremely costly. My health has been very costly. I've maxed out my insurance, and I'm just dealing with like oral health issues, anxiety issues and stuff, and I saw a therapist for a while. Sean and I have been under a lot of stress, so we've been doing couples therapy to try to help us navigate like our roles as parents and the closing of the business and everything. And it's a good thing when you're doing therapy, but it's also intense because you're doing a lot of really deep work, and some of it is really hard confronting it and can make you sad and uncomfortable. And for me, my anxiety has never been this bad since my mom died in 2017. There's a lot of unsure things in my life right now, and a lot of big change, a lot of ending with like no fanfare kind of thing with the business. We did have a little get together at Mermaid Marie's, which was really nice, and I'm so thankful that she planned that, but it is kind of like wild to be saying goodbye to the company after so long. And then losing the Mertailor code, it was like, wow, I made the right decision, because we really just have no income right now through the business other than YouTube, which is not a lot. Even though I have these amazing subscribers and all these views, I don't actually get that much money from YouTube compared to other YouTubers, and it's definitely not enough to be self-sustaining. But I've had some cool experiences through YouTube, and I'm hoping that as I keep putting in the work and going to workshops and having mentorship and everything, that maybe I can get over what kind of hump that I'm in, so that the videos earn a bit more and start to become more lucrative. But it is kind of like one of those things where this is just a passion thing for me. I'm sharing all this because I want to, but it can get difficult to keep up with it when life is so crazy. My day job was really stressful for a while. It's thankfully turning around now. Yeah, it's been a really difficult summer, and it's been the hardest summer of my mermaid career. I actually think I did more for my mermaid career way back in the beginning when nobody knew mermaids were a thing and we had crappy tails. I think I did more back then than this summer. But Trout is doing really well, and I try to focus on things like that. He's learned to sleep in his own bed. He had his 3rd birthday. He's totally weaned now, which was a whole to-do that I was also dealing with and made me really emotional, and planning and organizing his birthday was really wonderful, but also like financially crazy because like even when you try to keep things very small, toddler birthday parties can be expensive. It's wild. I have a whole new respect for the different clients I had. I'm just taking things one day at a time right now and trying to access different services for support. I'm trying to think long-term what I want to do with my YouTube. I've just barely been able to be creative all summer, and it's become very obvious to me that I really deeply rely on being creative for my mental health, and not being able to do that with my mermaid stuff was hard. So we didn't really get to do photo shoots or anything like that, and I just really thrived on that. I'm hoping over the winter to get back into playing guitar, just not to make money, literally just to feed that part of myself that needs the creativity. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't know. I'm really rusty and I get self-conscious, and I do think my self-conscious self has like taken a hit. Like just the different negative things that have been happening in my life are making me feel kind of bad about myself. So I'm kind of working on that and trying to focus on the good. I'm not someone who struggles with anxiety and depression on a 24/7 basis, but things have literally just been really rough. So it's hard when you get down in the dumps like that to pull yourself out, and I'm doing my best to do that, but the things that I used to rely on just aren't there anymore, and the people that I used to enjoy just aren't there anymore either. So kind of trying to figure out who I am. If I'm not Raina the mermaid all the time, am I just Raina the mommy all the time? Raina the person who goes to work all the time? It's a weird kind of place to be in, but anyway, I do have some videos I'm working on. I've been learning to use a 360 camera, and I really like that, and it's been a lot of fun, so I'm going to share a tutorial with all of you if I think, you know, people are going to watch it. I do have a small collaboration with Mertailor coming up with a new tail that they launched. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to be making some Halloween content for my YouTube shorts, and that is always really fun. I had a lot of fun times last year doing the prompts on that, and we're going to give that a go too. So thank you for watching, and if you've been someone who's been sticking through for years and years watching my videos and supporting the content that I make, I really appreciate you. You know, it's kind of like these dark times are when that kind of thing really shines through and helps people get through, so I appreciate it. And if you are watching these videos, I really appreciate the comments and the feedback, just to know. Again, like I said, my subscriber base has changed so dramatically that it's really hard for me to know right now if this is something I should keep investing in with my time and energy. Let me know what you think. I do have some videos that I want to make, a big long plan, and right now I'm just kind of focusing on what's doable from my phone, since I have a busy life with my little guy, and he really is the light of my life. He's such a funny, silly kid, and even though he has to come to mermaid gigs occasionally, he's always helping out, and he's starting to direct things. He's really sweet, and we do pictures, and he gets in and helps with the pictures and hands me props and everything, and I love it. I'm just, you know, I'm feeling kind of like our winters are so hard, and I usually rely on the summer as a way to buffer myself before the winter, and this summer didn't fill me up like it normally does, so then, you know, there's no real buffer before the winter. We even tried to go out on the boat once our car got fixed, and the weather changed dramatically and the water was too cold to swim in already. I'm usually still in the water this time of year, and it was way too cold, so it's just a lot of missed opportunities. I'm just gonna keep hanging in there and trying. So thanks for watching, and leave me a comment, a like, use that subscription button, use the code before it expires, get your 10% off, and best fishes.